What's up, guys? Dylan Rush with KOTC Press, joined today by the #1 amateur light heavyweight and heavyweight in the United States, Mexico, and Latin America. After amassing an 8-2 amateur record, he is set to make his professional fighting debut for King of the Cage on October 10th in Worley, Idaho. Gabe, the Freight Train Rednose. How you doing, Gabe?
Doing great, brother. Really appreciate you having me on, man. I'm a big fan of all your content and I follow along very closely.
Thank you, man. Well, I hope this is going to be the first of many. I really appreciate you taking the time as well. Before we get to that professional debut and all that good stuff, I want to take it from the start, maybe go a little chronologically. So I know you're in Oklahoma now. Is that where you were born and raised?
Yes, sir. Born and raised in Oklahoma City, grew up in small town Kingfisher, Oklahoma.
Nice. Okay. And how did you get into MMA out there? What got you interested in mixed martial arts?
I had a few buddies who did it along, earlier on in our late teenage years into adulthood, and I went to college to wrestle. I ended up dropping out of college and coming back home, and they'd always asked me to do like handle their ground game and wrestling in their all of their fights. So I thought I might just test it out and see what I could do for myself in there.
Was it kind of like you saw that they were, having some success doing it, and you were like, yo, if you guys could do it, I think maybe I could do it.
Of course, there's not a lot of big guys that can, wrestle or get off their back once you put them there, especially here in Oklahoma. So I knew that I felt like I had a good chance of, winning some of these fights if I could get
Mhm.
in and get a takedown and put them on their back.
Do you remember if there was a moment where maybe even before your first fight, or probably more likely after your first fight, where you were like, you know what, this is for me. Like, I want to do this. I want to take this a little bit more seriously.
Of course, I've always enjoyed it and I've liked doing it. But I trained out of my garage, man, for like the first 5 or 6 fights of my amateur career. I've never really had a real head coach until I met current coach now, Joe Stevenson. So I kind of always made me doubt myself a little bit just because I didn't come from a real gym for the longest time. And but I faced that adversity and showed up and did what I did.
Oh yeah, man. What can you tell me about Joe Stevenson and how he's influenced you during your mixed martial arts career?
I've had a lot of great coaches in my life growing up. He's by far the best coach I've ever had. He can break down this game to a level that I can't even explain.
Mhm.
And, he's been a great mentor for me. He's helped me grow my relationship with God. He's very religious, and, that's important to me and my family. And I just feel like that he's the right person to be in my corner, coaching me and being there every step of the way.
That's awesome, man. Wow. So you're Gabe the Freight Train Rednose. How did you get that nickname Freight Train? Who gave it to you? Where did that originate?
It's kind of crazy. A couple of my buddies, after my first couple of fights, well, in high school, I have a good blast double. So that was one of my main moves that I like to hit in wrestling. And I flatlined the first guy that I fought with a blast double. And they kind of just said, you look like a freight train out there. And it kind of just stuck. So I let it ride.
I like it, man. I think it fits you perfectly. So we fast forward a little bit. You finish your amateur career 8-2, finish all your opponents in your all 8 victories, right? 100% finish rate. Do you pride yourself on that finishing ability and maybe even like putting on a show for the fans in attendance and all the viewers around the world?
Of course, that's always been, one of my main goals that I'd like to keep intact moving forward. I know it's going to be a hard task to do at the professional level now, but I'm going to try my hardest to keep that thing going as long as I can. Yeah, I like to get in there and get out as fast as I can. I've been to the second round once in my career thus far, and that was my last fight for the biggest title that I fought for, which was for that California state title. So
Mhm.
um, I really wanted to keep it all first round finishes. I tried hard. I got to like 3 dominant positions in that last fight, and I just couldn't capitalize. It was my own fault. But it is what it is. I'm glad to taste the second round a little bit, and I hope I can taste the second, third round, fourth round, fifth round eventually. So
Yep.
I'm ready for that as well.
hmm Am I right to say that Dan Henderson was in the crowd, was in attendance for your last fight, Hendo?
Of course, yeah, he's the one who actually strapped the belt around me. We were fighting at his place there in Temecula. Uh, you know, my coach Joe is actually his MMA and jiu-jitsu head coach there for Dan Henderson's. So Cobra Kai, which is Joe's gym in Victorville, is actually an affiliate, and he's a coach of Dan Henderson's guys. So they Monday and Wednesdays we all cross train down at Dan's in Temecula. We'll drive down the pass. It's like an hour and a half drive, and we'll just get sparring rounds in and pro classes with all of Dan's fighters and his team. So I'm getting a really good look everywhere I go when I'm down there.
Oh yeah, man. It must have been pretty cool to get Dan Henderson wrapping that belt around your waist, right?
Oh yeah, legend, man. He's a pretty cool guy. He's pretty genuine. And I'm glad that I got to meet him and win his title and the California State title.
Yep. Speaking of titles, the number one light heavyweight and heavyweight prospect in United States, Mexico, Latin America, you've secured a lot of belts, numerous accolades. What do all these accomplishments mean to you, man?
You know, they're just shiny titles that are hanging on the wall in there. In a trophy case. They just kind of show a journey. It show my progression each and every fight. I try my best to get better and better after the previous one, on to the next. I never try to hang my head on a win or a title too long. It's always back to work, and feels good to win, man, obviously, but I hate to lose more than I like to win. So I try to just keep myself as humble as I can moving forward, and always nose to the grindstone.
You speak about hating to lose. You have suffered only two defeats in your amateur career. What can you tell me about those losses? Were there some key takeaways that you took with you moving forward and learned from, and then you got back to your winning ways, of course?
Yeah, man, it's just one of those things. You kind of just have to do it and take it as a learning aspect of it. My first loss was against Jacob Hevelin. He was, I think, 9-0. I was 3-0. I got the call from Tough Enough in Las Vegas, Nevada. They called me and I was all excited, 3-0, younger kid. Hey, we'll fly you out here. We'll pay for everything. Come fight for our heavyweight title in the main event. All sounded great. Sure, let's do it. Looking back, I probably shouldn't have taken that fight quite yet that early in my career, just because Jacob Hevelin's a stud, man. But I did, and it was kind of controversial loss a little bit because, I ended up getting the decision overturned because I ended up fighting for a title 2 weeks later because I had more than three officials overturn that, and I said that I was basically transferring into a neutral position, covering up. I was taking like no real damage. They're all hitting my shoulder. So when I showed the video to multiple different certified referees, I sent back their responses to the Nevada Athletic Commission, and they ended up overturning it. So I wasn't no longer suspended, because typically when you get TKO'd,
Yeah.
you get suspended for like 60 days. So after having multiple other referees look at the film, and they all said the same thing, basically that I was advancing to a neutral position, they went ahead and overturned it, and I got to fight for a title 2 weeks later here in Oklahoma. But he was in a more dominant position for sure. Who knows what would have happened after that if it continued. I applaud him. I'm glad it happened. I want to take it away if I could. Like you said, you win or learn, baby. It's on to the next one. My second loss, I actually had a torn meniscus leading into the IMAF championships. I think I fought 3 times before making it to the finals, and I fought Team Mexico in the finals, and he caught me in a knee bar, same knee that I had torn, and there's no way that I was coming back to America, going back to a full-time job with 2 kids with torn up knee, which it's all good. I ended up having to get surgery anyway on it, and kept me down for a while, but I'm glad it happened as well. Overcome this adversity and bounce back and get back in there, and hopefully I don't have another one again.
No doubt. How's that knee doing now? Is that knee doing a lot better?
100%, baby. Ready to rock and roll.
Hell yeah. So you mentioned training out there in California. I saw that you trained back in the day at JacksonWink. Is that true?
Yeah, back in 2019, I got a lot of good rounds in with John Jones. There's some tough guys. Diego Sanchez were out there at the time. Mike Perry, Cowboy Cerrone, all those guys were out there for a little bit. It was cool. It was cool. And that was like my first real experience of, leaving home and training elsewhere in a real gym.
You must have been
cool.
my age. You must have been what? Like, I'm 22. You must have been what? Like 21, 22 back then?
Yep.
That's a pretty good training partner to have at 21 years old. John Jones. It's not bad.
Oh, yeah, dude. It was amazing. It was an experience of a lifetime for sure. Holly Holm was there a lot. Karate Hottie was there. It was cool to meet all them and see what this sport could do for your life and where you could end up if you make the right calls and continue to win and get the right people behind you. So that was really kind of like an inspiration to see all of that for sure.
Definitely, man. I actually read that you also trained under Dominic Reyes, that he might have been a little bit of a mentor at some point. Is that true?
For sure. He's still my main sparring partner right now when I go out to California. We share the same head coach. So Joe Stevenson's both our coaches. And, he's a beast, man. He's taught me a lot. And I really look forward to getting back out there and working with him some more.
That's awesome, man. So you've been out of the cage for nearly a year now, right?
Yep.
What have you been doing this past year? What can you tell me about these past few months training and leading up to, making that move to your professional debut?
Just life in general. I was battling another injury. I had to get surgery. It was a knee surgery again, other knee, and full meniscus repair, back to 100%, no issues at all. Uh, Put me down for about 7 or 8 months. Um, we're back to 100% ready to go. Just locked in, and I was just kind of searching through different promotions. I was talking to multiple different ones and trying to figure out the best route for me. And after talking to my family and my coaches, we really decided that King of the Cage would be a great fit, and ready to take it over, baby.
Hell yeah. So of course, as you just mentioned, the injuries, now you're back to fully healthy. But outside of that, is there something like what led you to make the decision to go pro now? Why is now the right time?
I'm ready to get paid, man. I have a family that's counting on me to make some money, and that's the whole reason why I'm doing this. I don't, in this exact moment, I don't care to be a world champion. I don't care to, obviously, if it leads to that, obviously I'm going to try my hardest to capture that title wherever it may be. But I'm just here to change the financial future for my kids, man. That's really why I'm doing this. End of the day, that's my main motivation. So
You kind of just answered my next question, but I'm still going to ask it anyway because a little bit deeper into it, what can you tell me about the sacrifices you've made in order to get to this point and what a victory in your professional fighting debut would mean to you, your career, but also your family?
I'm 100% going to get a win in this professional debut. No doubt about it. It's going to mean a lot to me. This is just what I do. I feel like God put me on this earth to do this, and I have the skills and the capabilities of, advancing even further to the next level, and that's what I'm going to try my hardest to do. And win, lose or draw, all glory goes to God, and I'm just blessed with this opportunity to try and change my kids' future. And that's what I'm going to do.
I'm sure you're going to do whatever it takes to make the most of it, man. I'm looking forward to watching. King of the Cage, the promotion. They say you're the top Native American prospect in the history of mixed martial arts. What does it mean to represent your culture out there and within the realm of MMA?
Means a lot to me. Being from the Cheyenne and Arapaio tribe, I'm the first professional MMA fighter out of my tribe history. We have 16,000 people in my tribe. I'm the first professional fighter. Um, you know, I carry that with honor. I really take a lot of pride in being Native American, and I've always got judged because my skin color is a little bit lighter than most Native Americans. My dad and I have different skin colors, and I just had to grow up with that my whole life. And all the natives would call me white boy, and all the white boys would make
Mhm.
fun of me for being Native. And it is what it is, and I really hold that close to my heart. And I'm very proud to be Native American. I'm very proud to represent the CNA tribe. I'm going to take it as far as I can, and I'm blessed to be a part of it for sure.
That's awesome. Uh, I know you're fully focused on this professional debut coming up October 10th, but what are some of your primary goals in fighting? What are you hoping to achieve in your professional mixed martial arts career?
I just want to build my kids' bank accounts up, whether it's, I don't know how many fights it's going to take. If I continue to win and do what I do, it's all in God's plan. It's hard to think about the future that far ahead, but my main goal is just to keep winning these fights, keep putting these guys down who show up in front of me, and keep cashing these checks. That's the main thing that I'm here to do, and that's what I'm going to do.
Well, you're out here chasing your dreams, man. So at the very least, you are setting a good example for your kids that, they could do anything they set their mind to and that they got to chase their dreams. I think that's more important than anything else. So I commend you for that. You're just 26 years old right now. You just talked about you don't want to look too far into the future, but if you could, just for a moment, where do you see yourself at 30 or where would you like to see yourself? What would be like the perfect 30-year-old version of you? Where would you be at?
30 years old, black belt in jiu-jitsu,
Hell,
open up my own academy, hopefully on an active roster, UFC one championship, PFL even, man. I'm open to any of the big three. You know, just healthy, financially free, and ready to put this guy down or whoever else shows up in front of me.
hmm Uh, do you have an opponent for October 10th? I didn't even mention that.
Few potential names, but no one's signed yet. So I'll hold off on the names until I for sure secure one down and lock him down and make sure he's the one that I'm going to be fighting. But
Mhm.
No one official yet. I think we're still 78 days out. So probably within the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we'll probably get someone locked in.
Have you locked in on which weight class?
205.
205. All right. We got Slim Gabe Rednose heading into the
That's
cage.
right.
Cage.
That's right. 220 right now. Shouldn't be a bad cut at all. But you better believe I'm weighing in every bit at 206.0.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Again, you did talk about not wanting to look too far into the future, but I just want to ask you, even outside of fighting, it could have to do with fighting, it doesn't have to with fighting, but when it's all said and done, fighting, training, opening your academy, even when it comes to being a father, doing all these different things, your religion, what do you want people to remember most about Gabe the Freight Train Rednose, your legacy? What do you want to leave behind?
I want to leave behind that I cared so much about my kids that I was willing to sacrifice everything that I have thus far. And I just want them to know that I would do anything for my family to make sure that they could live a better life. And I want to be known as very respectful and hopefully to go down as one of the best to do it.
It's awesome. Last thing, real quick, a message for the fans or supporters, all the supporters out there. What can fans expect to see when they tune into King of the Cage on October 10th in Worley, Idaho?
You guys can 100 expect first round finish.
So it's gonna be a quick night.
It's going to be a quick night. I'm not going to give you a prediction on how or what, but I will give you it will be a first round finish. I gave you guys my word.
Don't take a bathroom break when Gabe Rednose goes to fight.
That's right. Better stay that ass in the seat with your popcorn ready to go.
Oh yeah, man. October 10th in Worley, Idaho, King of the Cage, Gabe the Freight Train Rednose making his professional fighting debut after one of the best amateur careers in recent memory. I'm really looking forward to it, man. Good luck, all the best, and I look forward to doing another interview, man, because this was a great one. I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you, brother. God bless for the opportunity. And I really appreciate it. And like I said, I'm a big fan, and I tune into all your content. So
Thank you,
it's an
man.
honor to be here, brother.
Appreciate you, man. Be good. All right. I'm tuning in October 10th. King of the Cage. Let's go. Good
Live
luck.
on Pluto TV. Catch me there.
Sounds good, man. I'll see you, bro. Be good.
Thank you.